Hey guys, today I'm filming my chopping block finale. If you guys did not see my intro or any of my other updates, I will have my playlist linked up above. And basically at the beginning of the year, I did declutter my collection, but while I was going through it, there were a ton of products where I was on the fence about whether I wanted to keep them or declutter them. So I decided to put them all in this series, make myself specifically take the time to test these products and come to a final decision whether I would keep them or not. Also in these updates, I did share with you any other items I chose to declutter, any products I returned, and any products that I had to throw away because they had expired. So in today's video, I will be giving you a rundown of the products since my last update, but also at the end, I will give you guys my total numbers for the things from this project that I kept, the things from this project I decluttered, any other things I decluttered, returns, and things I had to throw away. So I will give you total numbers at the end. And also at the end, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about what this project is going to look like in 2018. You guys seem to enjoy these updates. I really enjoyed filming these a lot, so I want to continue it next year, but I have some questions and some poll comments that I'll be posting for you guys, but that will be at the end. So just jumping right in with my final items, I had 1 eye product and 5 lip products. My eye product was the Milani Shadow Eyes Pencil in the shade Sand Dunes. I love the Milani Shadow Eyes pencils. They're amazing shadow sticks. This is a beautiful taupe color, but this shade includes a ton of glitter, so it does not glide onto the eyes as easily. I'm not sure if you guys can see. It's a very light taupey color. And I decided to declutter this one. I would love to look for another taupe base. I love Maybelline's Bad to the Bronze, which is like a cool tone bronze. So I might end up repurchasing that in the future, but I will be getting rid of this because I don't reach for it because I don't enjoy that formula. Then for the lip products, we have the Milani Amore Matte Lip Cream in the shade Lust. I do have a review on these, which I will have linked down below. And here's what a swatch of this looks like. It's a really pretty pink color, but I don't think that this shade really does anything for my skin tone. Also, I think these are getting a little bit older and the formula feels incredibly drying. And this is something I haven't reached for in over a year. And I have enough lip products in my collection that I don't need this one. This one isn't awful, but it's just so-so, and I have things that are better, so I'll be getting rid of that as well. And then I have 2 ColourPop Ultra Matte Lips in the shade Bad Habit and More Better. Some beautiful berry vampy shades. So right here is Bad Habit and here is More Better. These are stunning, and I wanted to keep these because I love the color, but I don't like the formula. And this was the first collection that launched when ColourPop reformulated for the first time. So not their original formulation, but their second formulation, which I do not like. I find that these bleed on me. They do not set completely. They're just slightly sticky enough where my lips touch together, it pulls off the product from the top or the bottom lip, which makes them look patchy. And the other shades that were released with this launch I had the same problem with, and I bet that if I bought these again right now, the formula would be much better. ColourPop's changed the Ultra Matte Lip formula several times, which is good but bad. They're never going to be able to please everyone, but you never really know what you're getting. So I love these shades so much, but I do not like the formula. Also, when I tried to remove these, it was a biatch. These stained my lips hot pink, like intense hot pink. I know it's going to stain my hand and not come off for a couple days, even if I'm in the shower. And when I was trying to wipe it off, I had pink all over my face. So no, because of the formula, but I would definitely recommend these colors. And if I didn't already have similar shades in my collection, I would repurchase these because the colors I think are just staples for the fall and winter time. But I bought them when they were a bad formula, so I will be getting rid of those as well. And lastly, I have my 2 jumbo lip crayons, and these are both matte reds. So this first one here is the ColourPop Lippie Stick in the shade Trust Me, which is a matte X finish, which is my favorite finish from ColourPop. I wish they had more shades in this finish. And then we have the Revlon Colorburst Matte Balm in the shade Standout. I do have a review on these, which I will have linked down below. So right here is the ColourPop and right here is the Revlon. You can see that the Revlon almost looks a little bit more bloody, which sounds weird. And the ColourPop is a lot brighter. I think that the shade of the ColourPop looks prettier on my skin tone. It is more vibrant and bright, but also this is a lot more matte. It is more comfortable, and I don't have to worry about this feathering outside of my lip line. So I will be passing on the Revlon, but I will be keeping the ColourPop. So out of those 6 items, I will be decluttering 5 and keeping 1. Moving on to the item I returned. So since my last update, I only returned one thing. That was the Real Techniques Blend and Blur Oval Foundation Brush. I did do a first impression of that, including it in a chit chat get ready with me, so I will leave that linked for you guys. But no, that is not my preferred foundation application. I would rather use a sponge or a flat top kabuki brush. It was so awkward to like, oh, it felt like I was just smearing product on my face, which felt disgusting. Like, I wear so much full coverage makeup, but I never really feel like I'm wearing full coverage. But with that brush and that way of applying, felt like I was literally putting icing on a cake. Like, oh, it just grossed me out. Also, I felt like it was picking up the foundation off my cheeks where I have my redness. So that was an expensive brush. It was $20, and I decided I would never reach for it because I just knew I would not get used to or comfortable with that application method. So I ended up returning it. I mean, it was super soft, but because it was so dense, I think that's why it was picking up the product off of my face. But a lot of people really love those brushes, but that oval brush kind of thing, I now know is not for me. Moving on to the couple items that I will be throwing in the trash. Luckily, there's not that many. The first one is probably the hardest. This is the Balm's Bahama Mama Bronzer. I have a nice little dip in here. This is such an amazing bronzer. I love using this to contour, and I have been using it all fall, and it looked so weird. Like, my contour looks so gross, and some people say that this can look kind of green. I've never noticed that before, but I felt like I was starting to see that it was looking a little bit green on my skin. When I swatched this on my hand next to other bronzers, the color was way off. Now, I love this formula, and I don't feel like it ever looked odd on me before, but I have had this since, I believe, March 2012. So this is very old, so I will be throwing it out. I do have a little mini of these in a palette from the Balm, so I will just be using that from now on. Maybe in the future I will repurchase, but I want to work through other bronzers and contours that I have. I love this product, and I think it's a good formula, but all of a sudden the color started looking really terrible on me, and it is so old. So if you guys have used that bronzer from the Balm, let me know your experience with the color. My next thing I have is the e.l.f. Brow Pomade. It is the Lock On Liner and Brow Cream in the shade Taupe. I'm pretty sure I used this in a video, and I was telling you guys how thick and gummy this is and how hard it was to apply, and a lot of you guys were like, yeah, it must have gone bad, throw it away. So that's what I will be doing. Because I did do a first impression on this, it will be linked down below as well, and it was not gummy like this. It was very creamy, and I think it's just too old and absolutely repulsive. So I will be throwing it out. This was only a couple dollars, so I'm not really bummed about that. The next thing I have is an eyeshadow trio from Almay. This is the trio for greens in the shade 024. I love these colors. They're so beautiful. This was a go-to eyeshadow look for me in the wintertime. So I was going to try to pan this trio this year, but I decided to throw it out. I can tell it's gone bad because the shadows look so dull and muddy on the eye, and they didn't used to look like that before. And again, I've had this for such a long time. They discontinued this long ago, so I will be throwing this away, and I definitely got my money's worth. I'm pretty sure I got this years and years ago from Big Lot. So it is a shame, but these are not unique colors, and I definitely have other things in my collection that are similar. And the last item I'll be throwing away is the ColourPop Ultra Satin Lip in the shade Dopey. It is a beautiful mauve lipstick, kind of similar to what I'm wearing today, which is Anastasia Dusty Rose. I love this color, and you guys know I love the Ultra Satin Lip formula, but for me, between 6 to 9 months, these will expire, and they smell like rancid glue. Please let me know if you guys have had that experience with your Ultra Satin lips. I love this formula so much. It is very long wearing, very comfortable, but it isn't transfer proof, but it's super opaque. I love this formula so much, and I have a couple colors that I want to keep purchasing, but I've kind of given up on all of them except for Molly. Molly is the one shade I feel like I will just buy every single year because I love it so much, but I wish ColourPop could figure out a way to keep these smelling good, or at least having no scent. Like, this is stank. So let me know if you have that experience. So those are all of the things that I'll be throwing away. Only 4 things, so not too bad. And now for all of the products I'll be decluttering. So I recently went through my foundation and my bronzer contour highlight drawer and pulled out a couple things I decided that I just don't need. And it's hard for me to let go of bronzers and contours and highlights for some reason. But I came to terms with the fact that I just don't like the way that they look on my skin. So starting with a couple foundations, I did recently go through my collection and I decided to get rid of quite a few that were just okay, and I just wasn't reaching for them. So I do have first impressions on all of these, which will be linked down below. I have the Ulta Demi Matte Foundation in the shade Ivory. This is a thick, moussey consistency. It was impossible for me to get it to come out of the applicator. This is an okay foundation. It does give nice coverage, but I don't like that moussey consistency. I would rather it be liquidy, so I don't like the consistency of this. The coverage was fine. I don't feel like it held up against my oil the best. And this is just an okay foundation. I would rather pass it on since I haven't really used it much. Then the other one is the L'Oreal Infallible Total Cover in the shade 302 Creamy Natural. Too dark, too pink for me, but this is also this very thick, moussey consistency that does emphasize lines and wrinkles. It held up on my skin okay. I don't think it looked terrible. I didn't dislike this as much as other people did, but I definitely didn't love it, and I have not used it at all since my first impression, so I will be getting rid of that one as well. So I'm gonna be looking for people that I can give these to. And then I have the Sonia Kashuk Soft Focus Satin Matte Foundation in the lightest shade number 1, Bisque. I was so hyped for this foundation because Casey Holmes loved it. This did not control oil. It did not give very much coverage, and it has a very strong floral scent to it. So I will be getting rid of this one. I'm going to give this to my sister because she likes a lighter coverage and she is a little bit deeper than I am, so she might really enjoy that. And the other foundation is the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Hydrating Tint in the shade 10 Classic Ivory. This is too dark, too pink. It oxidizes. It gives like no coverage. It held up decently well against my oily skin, but it isn't an oil controlling foundation. So I'll be giving this to my mom. I think that she's a little bit darker than me, but I think this is a formula she would like because she likes light coverage and she does have dry skin. So I'll be getting rid of all of those, and I feel really happy about it. I will be bringing in some new foundations soon. I'm getting a couple different ones for Christmas, which I'm really excited about. I'm just wanting to basically start over with my foundation collection. My next product is the MAC Sculpting Powder in the shade Sculpt. I've tried it as a bronzer and I've tried it as a contour. Now this is a good formula, it's a good color, but it's just so, and I do not reach for this over my other products. Now I really focused on using this over fall and it was just okay. So I decided that I will be passing this along to somebody else that I think could get some better use out of it. Again, it is a good product, but it's just not the perfect thing for me. The next item is probably the most difficult thing for me to get rid of because this was very limited edition, although maybe it's permanent now, I'm not really sure. This is the MAC Extra Dimension Skin Finish in the shade Superb. It is just really pretty champagne-y, silvery rose gold color. It's so beautiful, and again, I pulled this as my winter highlight, but I've been in denial for so long. This is way too dark for my skin tone. Yes, the metallic is very pretty, and in the sunlight you can pick up on that metallic, but in the shade it looks like I have a freaking taupe eyeshadow on my cheekbone, which is hideous. Like, I had applied it pretty heavily and then I caught myself in the shade and was like, what happened to your face? I literally thought I got eyeshadow on my face. It was this. It's just way too dark for my skin tone, and it's so hard for me to let go of this because I know that this was coveted for such a long time. But I will be giving this to one of my friends that has a more tan complexion than I do because I think it'll be more flattering on her. This is so hard to get rid of. Oh my gosh. But it's good. These are good moves. I literally just decided on this contour and this highlight last night when I went through my bronzer and contour collection. I made myself get rid of them because you guys know I like to dedicate a specific bronzer, contour, and highlight for each season. And I've actually reconfigured which shades I like for which season, so I will be updating you guys on that soon-ish. But I decided these just weren't going to make the cut, and they weren't the right shades for my skin tone or shades that I really reach for. The next item is also very, very difficult for me to be getting rid of, but I literally never use this This is the Too Faced Everything Nice palette that came out many holidays ago. And the reason I bought this is because I missed out on the previous palette, which was a few of my favorite things. That palette was so stunning. And looking at those colors versus the colors in this palette, I would have enjoyed that one more. But y'all, I never use this. So it comes with all of these lovely eyeshadows and these lovely cheek products. And I really was keeping this for the face products. It has Pop Adult Peach Blush, which apparently looks different than their new little single version. And then the Chocolate Soleil Bronzer. Now I have Chocolate Soleil Bronzer in a little deluxe sample size. I never pull for it for this blush. I actually have other peach blushes I prefer over this. These shadows are very, very basic. I never reach for them. And the shadow formula is decent in here, but it's not the worst or the best from Too Faced. So this is something that I will be passing along. I need to find a friend that doesn't already have this because I want to give this away to someone that actually really loves makeup, not just like my mom or my sister who can give two craps about it and probably wouldn't use it for forever either. This really hurts my heart, but I need to get rid of it. I need to get rid of it. I am proud of myself for getting rid of these really difficult things. And the last item is one lip product. This is from Nudestix. This is the Magnetic Matte Lip Color in the shade Greystone. I got this from a Sephora play. Sometimes Sephora be playing us with the kind of colors that they put in the boxes. You guys, ugh. This is a gray brown. Now I can like a beautiful warm brown or even like a taupey gray lip color, but this kind of brown is hideous. It's actually hideous. I tried it on yesterday and this magnetic matte formula is disgusting. I have the matte lip and cheek pencil in Belle. That formula is very smooth. I really like that. This was like thick and sticky. It felt disgusting on my lips. So I don't like this color and I definitely do not recommend that magnetic matte formula. So no, I'll see if somebody wants this, but I freaking doubt it. So guys, those are all the products for this update, but now I'm going to give you guys my final numbers for everything. So for my chopping block items, for the things that I kept, it was only 6, which I think is quite impressive. I got rid of 40 things, which is amazing. If you want to know what the specific products are, check out my updates. I feel so good about that. And doing it this way is so much easier than doing a big declutter of my collection at once. It was so much easier for me to let go of things like little by little. Like these things I just got rid of in this update would have been so hard for me to do otherwise, but I finally made myself get rid of just a couple things here and there, which really worked for me. So then for the other categories, the other random items I decluttered over this past year would be 29 items. I returned only 6 products, which is pretty good. I felt like I did a much better job of buying things that I did a lot of research on or I tried to swatch in person. But returning only 6 things I think is pretty good. And then for trash, unfortunately, it was 30 products that I threw away, which is a really big bummer. A lot of those were ColourPop lip products. I am really going to try not to buy ColourPop lip products unless they're very, very special. I love the lip liners and I like the Matte X Lippie sticks. I like the cream finish glosses. I like the satins. The mattes are okay, but you guys know the satins expire. So I'm going to try really hard not to buy ColourPop lip products because that was the majority of these trash items. And a lot of lip products seem to be expiring at the same time, but I think that's because I really started my makeup addiction at the same time and started buying a bunch of products, so it's just kind of due time that they expired. So it's making me be a lot more particular about the lip products that I bring in. So those are my numbers. I feel good about it. I know 30 products going in the trash is really disappointing. I'm glad that I was able to declutter more than I threw away. I still did get my collection numbers down, which is great. And I do feel happier about my collection overall, which is truly what I want. So that was everything for the update. If that's all you were interested in, then thank you so much for watching. But if you would like to hear about my future plans for this project, then listen up. So for 2018, I actually thought I was not going to do this project again because I didn't really know of items in my collection that I was on the fence about. But when I really looked harder at it, there were a lot of things that I can see fitting in this project. So this year I got rid of the things that were easier, I knew I didn't really like, but now there are things that I'm holding on to for some reason, but I'm never ever using them. So it's going to be a little bit more tricky next year, but I think that it's still necessary for me to do this project. And again, like I was saying, it was so much easier for me to declutter things a couple at a time because I was thoroughly testing them out to know for sure that I didn't want them anymore. So I think it's still necessary for me to do this project next year. Also, in these updates, I will continue to let you know about any other things I decluttered, any products I'll be returning, and any products that I will be trashing because they've expired. I really loved adding that into this series. I think it fit really nicely. Yes, I could add those into a haul or an empties or random updates here and there, but I think they fit into this series so well. So here is the question for next year. So I'm going to be able to come up with a decent amount of makeup products, but I actually have a ton of nail polishes that I am on the fence about as well. I've actually divided my collection into 2 different boxes of products that are must-haves and then polishes that I'm just unsure about. So I am wondering, in the poll up here, would you like to see a makeup and nail polish chopping block or just a makeup chopping block? So please answer that up here in the poll. I really would like to know. So if you guys are into it, this is my plan. So in the intro, I'll go through all of the polishes. There's so many. I'll go through all the polishes I'm unsure about, and then I'll continue doing these updates every 2 months, and every single week I will try one of those polishes. Now I might just try it on to see what I think of the color or the formula. I might not wear it throughout the week, but I will try it on. I will take a Manicure Monday Nail of the Day picture, and then in each of these updates I will talk about 8 polishes and show you 8 nail pictures so I can update you on those. So let me know what you think. I have all of these polishes where it's either the formula or the color that I'm not sure about, and if you guys don't want to see it, I will just go through it on my own, but I think it'll be more fun for me and also keep me on track and keep me doing it all year long if I do it in these updates. But not to sway your opinion, but just let me know in the cards what you guys would like to see. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this series this year. I thought it was really fun. It was very helpful for me, and I want to thank you guys how engaged you guys have been in the comments on all of these videos. So thank you all so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.